Presented by Listen Headlines. Latest financial news from trusted sources.
ForexLive, September 9, 7:45 America, New York. ECB leaves key rates unchanged in September monetary policy meeting, as expected. ECB announces their latest monetary policy decision the 9th of September 2021. ForexLive, September 9, 7:33 America, New York. ForexLive European FX News Wrap. Dollar slightly lower, ECB coming up. Forex news from the European trading session the 9th of September 2021 headlines. Markets. GBP leads, CAD lags on the day, European equities lower. S&P 500 futures down 0.2%.
Daily FX Market News. September 9, 7:12 America, New York. Solana, SOL, USD, continues to soar. Ethereum, ETH, USD, consolidating recent flash crash. The altcoin market is shaking off this week's heavy sell-off with multiple coins making double-digit gains.
ForexLive, September 9, 7:10 America, New York. EMA vaccine strategy head says still uncertain when booster shots should be considered. Adds that EMA expects to decide on Pfizer filing for booster shots in a few weeks from now. For now, authorities are still calm on the need for booster shots, but I reckon they would be a more important topic as we approach the winter months of this year.
Wall Street Journal Markets. September 9, 7:03 America, New York. Keep an eye on Wall Street's clean medicine experiment. Gwyneth Paltrow, Don Cheadle and others are betting that clean living principles are headed to your medicine cabinet. Investors should be paying close attention. Wall Street Journal Markets. September 9, 7 o'clock America, New York. Big investors target battery makers tied to power grid. Investors such as Apollo Global Management and Paulson and Amp Co. have committed hundreds of millions of dollars to startups developing so-called long-duration batteries. Wall Street Journal Markets. September 9, 6:55 America, New York. BlackRock-Soros feud as a microcosm of Wall Street's China dilemma. BlackRock is making a big bet on the hunger of China's individual investors for professional asset management, and on the fraught politics of the U.S.-China relationship.
Naked Capitalism. September 9, 6:51 America, New York. After a long, hard summer, Southern Europe's long-awaited tourism recovery remains largely elusive. Global travel is still far from returning to anything like the conditions that existed prior to the pandemic, at least for non-essential travelers.
Wall Street Journal Markets. September 9, 6:41 America, New York. GameStop, Lululemon, NetEase. What to watch when the stock market opens today. GameStop is tumbling after its earnings report. Chinese tech companies are also sliding.
Global Economy. September 9, 6:34 America, New York. Biden begins rebuilding U.S.-Mexico relationship. Efforts to make friends in post-Trump era may take time amid trade and immigration difficulties.
Naked Capitalism. September 9, 6:25 America, New York. Removing urban highways can improve neighborhoods blighted by decades of racist policies. Urban planning has been used to classify, segregate and compromise people's opportunities based on race. Highway removal can improve urban neighborhoods.
ForexLive, September 9, 6:15 America, New York. Japan PM Suga. Virus cases are declining but the spread of infections is not over yet. Remarks by Japanese Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga. His final acts as Prime Minister would arguably be to try and get the country on the right path in countering the virus trend, and in the past 2 weeks, that seems to be the case, at least as vaccinations, 49% of population fully vaccinated, also pick up.
BBC News Business. September 9, 6:05 America, New York. 3 brings in EU roaming charges and ends global scheme. 3 is the third UK network to bring back roaming charges for the EU post-Brexit. BBC News Business. September 9, 6:02 America, New York. KPMG seeks to increase working-class staff numbers. By 2030, KPMG wants 29% of its senior staff to have had parents that worked in routine and manual jobs.
New York Times Business. September 9, 6 o'clock America, New York. Building a more sustainable car, from headlamp to tailpipe. Vehicle makers shy away from traditional materials that are hard to recycle, like leather and plastics, and look to repurpose alternatives that still convey quality. The Audi RS e-tron GT. Wall Street Journal U.S. Business. September 9, 6 o'clock America, New York. White House unveils plan to cut prescription drug prices. The plan backs legislation from congressional Democrats, including a push to empower the federal government to negotiate for drug prices in Medicare and pass those lower costs along to the private sector.
Global economy. September 9. 5:45 America New York, Bidenomics in Italy. The country faces its best, and maybe last, chance to shake off secular decline.
ForexLive. September 9. 5:37 America New York, Fed's Bostic. The door remains open to taper bond purchases this year. Atlanta Fed President, Raphael Bostic, remarks in an interview with the WSJ, does not expect a call on tapering at this month's FOMC meeting, but believes Fed will be able to taper later this year. ForexLive. September 9. 5:35 America New York, Taper Without a Taper, ECB edition. What to expect going into the ECB policy decision today? There is only going to be one key thing to watch in the ECB decision today, and that is whether or not the central bank will be reducing the pace of its PEP purchases.
Daily FX Market News. September 9, 5:35 America New York, Euro setup, EUR, USD, EUR, GBP ahead of ECB. Euro traders keeping an eye on ECB as expectations for a hawkish tilt rise.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business. September 9. 5:33 America New York, this flu season is expected to be worse than the last one. The coming flu season is on track to be much worse than the last cycle, according to health experts, who fear an influx of cases could further strain hospitals already overwhelmed by the Delta surge. Wall Street Journal U.S. Business. September 9. 5:30 America New York, Fed's Bostic. Door remains open to bond buying taper this year. Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta President Raphael Bostic believes the Fed will be able to pull back on its asset buying campaign this year, though he doesn't expect a decision to do so will come at the U.S. Wall Street Journal U.S. Business. September 9. 5:30 America New York, push to let teens drive trucks interstate divides industry. Proposed legislation to test letting people as young as 18 drive big rigs interstate is exposing a divide in the trucking sector, where companies are having trouble finding workers to haul goods over long distances.